Okay, start.
Nonsense!
Oh, no. That's not it. What is it we're both saying? What language is it that we're
That's
speaking
precisely
right
what I'd
now?
like to know. What the hell are you talking about?
Well,
What is it called?
It's called a disaster.
it's called whatever you want.
Wow, isn't that
It's-
ironical?
It's prose.
Prose?
You ignorant creature, it's prose. Yes, prose. Now,
What was
everything
that?
is prose, that is not...
Hold on. Where did that sound come from? What the hell are you guys doing here? Surrounded by morons. These actors, these technicians. Wow. Carry on.
What?
I am not
You know what?
getting in that.
Just forget it. Just forget
I
it. It's not working out. Okay? You go back to your original positions. Think about what I told you. Think about your character.
and that's
Let's start on the top.
Nonsense!
Oh, no. That's not...
No. Excuse me. What the hell is this going on? Look, we're rehearsing. We're rehearsing a new piece. Nobody's allowed during rehearsals. What do you want?
Actually, we've come in search of an author.
What? An author? Look, there's no author here. We are rehearsing a new piece.
Oh, so much the better. So much the better. We could be your new piece.
Oh, do you hear that?
But if the author isn't here, unless you'd be willing to do it.
You're trying to be funny.
No, not at all, for heaven's sake. What are you saying? We bring you a drama, sir.
Listen, will you oblige me by going away? You know, we haven't the time to waste with madmen.
You know well that life is full of infinite absurdities, which strangely enough do not even need to appear plausible since they are true.
What the devil is he talking about?
I say that to reverse the ordinary process may well seem and be considered a madness.
Oh, so our profession seems to you one worthy of madmen then?
Well, to make seem true, which isn't, for no reason, for a joke as it were. Isn't that your mission, gentlemen? To bring fantastic characters live on stage?
But I would beg you to believe, my dear sir, that the profession of the comedian is a noble one. If today, as things go, the playwrights give us stupid comedies to play and puppets to represent instead of men, remember, we are proud to have given life to immortal works here on these very boards.
Bravo, yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Perfect. To living beings more alive than those who breathe and wear clothes. Being less real, perhaps, but true. I agree with you entirely.
What do you mean? Just now you said...
Excuse me. I meant it for you, sir, who were crying that you had no time to lose with madmen. While no one better than yourself knows that nature uses the instrument of human fantasy in order to pursue her higher creative purpose.
Okay, very well. But where does all of this take us?
Nowhere. It's merely to show you that one is born in life in many forms, in many shapes. A tree, or as a stone, as water, a butterfly, a woman. So one can also be born as a character in a play.
Oh, so you and these other friends of yours are born characters.
Exactly, and alive as you see us.
Alive characters.
I'm sorry you laugh. Because we carry in us a drama, sir. As you can guess from these women dressed in white.
Oh, chuck it, okay? Just get away from here. Clear out of here. For heaven's sake, will somebody throw them out?
No, look here.
Look.
Let me explain to you.
We come here and we work seriously out, you know?
And one cannot let oneself be made such a fool of.
I marvel at your incredulity, gentlemen. Are you not accustomed to see characters created by an author spring to life in yourselves and face each other? Just because there is no script which contains us, you refuse to believe that...
Believe me, sir. We really are very interesting characters. Sidetracked, however, but...
That is the word. In the sense that the author who created us alike no longer wished or was no longer able to materially put us into a work of art. And this was a real crime, sir, because he who has had the luck to be born a character can laugh even at death. You see, he cannot die. The man, the writer, the instrument of the creation, oh, he'll die. But the creation does not die. And to live forever, it doesn't need to have extraordinary gifts or be able to even work wonders.
Okay, that's quite all right, but what do you want, all of you?
We want to live.
For eternity?
No. Only for a moment. In all of you.
Just listen to him. They want to live in us. How ridiculous.
Well, I have no objection as far as that one is concerned.
Look here. The comedy needs to be made. But if you and your actors are willing to collaborate...
Collaborate? With you? Ha! Look, we're not fooling around here, okay? This is serious business.
Exactly, and that is why we've come to you.
And where is the script?
It's in us.
Isn't that?
The drama is in us and we are the drama. And we are impatient to play it. Our inner passion drives us onto this.
Oh, my passion, sir. If you only knew my passion for him. Oh, I am a 2-month orphan. I didn't only lose my father, but
Behave
also...
yourself. And don't laugh in that manner. She's a little mad.
She seems to be mad, and I can't understand what's happening.
Well, she's kind of worse than mad.
Worse. Really worse. Now you listen. You stage this drama for us at once. And then you will see that at a certain moment when I'm... Well, you know, after what has taken place between him and I can't remain in this society any longer. And to have to witness the anguish of this mother here, for that fool, look at him. Just look at him. You see how indifferent and how frigid he is? Because he's the legitimate son. And he despises me. He despises my sister because to him, we're just bastards. And he doesn't want to recognize her as his mother. She who is the common mother of us all. And he looks down upon her as if she were only the mother of us bastards.
Oh, please. I beg you, sir.
Look at her.
Oh, God.
Look at her.
No. Stop it, please. I beg you, sir, to prevent this man from carrying out this plan, which is loathsome to me.
Look, I don't understand at all. What is the situation? Is this lady your wife?
Yes, she is my wife.
Okay, then how can she be a widow if you're alive?
Don't laugh. Don't laugh like that, for heaven's sake. Her drama lies in this here, in this. She's had a lover, a man who ought to be here.
No. No.
Well, fortunately for her, he's dead. 2 months ago, as I said, we are in mourning.
He isn't here, you see, because he's not dead. He isn't here because, well, he isn't here. Anyway, that's not her drama. Her drama does not lie in the love of the two men for whom she was incapable of feeling anything. Well, maybe a little, possibly a little gratitude, but gratitude not for me, but for the other. You see, sir, she isn't a woman. She's a mother. And her drama, powerful, sir, I assure you, lies, as a matter of fact, in the children she's had by the two men.
I had them. Having got the courage to say that I wanted them. It was his doing. It was he who gave me that other man, who forced me to go away with him.
Oh, it isn't true.
Not true, isn't it?
No, it just isn't true.
And what can you know about it?
It isn't true. Don't believe it. Do you know why she says so? For that fellow there. And she tortures herself. Destroys herself on the account of the neglect of that son there. And she wants him to believe that if she abandoned him when he was only 2 years old, it was because he made her do so.
He forced me to do it. And I call God to witness it. Ask him if it isn't true. Let him speak. You are not in any position to know this.
Oh, but I know you lived in peace and happiness with my father while he lived. How can you deny that?
No, I don't deny it.
He was always full of affection and kindness for you. It's true, isn't it? Tell them. Why don't you speak?
Leave
you
him
fool?
alone. Leave him alone. Why do you want me to make me appear ungrateful, daughter? I don't want to offend your father. I have answered him that I didn't abandon my house or my son for any fault of mine, nor through any willful passion.
It's true. It was my doing.
What a spectacle.
Yeah, the audience this time.
For once, in a way.
Okay, just let's hear them out. Just listen.
Oh yes, you're going to hear a fine bit now. He's going to talk to you of the demon of experiment.
You're a cynical imbecile. I've said that to you 100 times. You see, he tries to make fun of me on account of this expression which I've found.
Yes.
To excuse myself.
Yes. Phrases. Phrases.
Phrases. Isn't everyone in life comforted by some word? A meaningless word?
Even in the case of remorse? Oh, in fact, especially then.
No, not in the case of remorse. I've done much more than just use words to quieten the remorse in me.
Oh, yes. Yes. There was a bit of money, too. Yes, gentlemen. A bit of money. Oh, there were those 20,000 rupees. He was about to offer me in payment. Gentlemen.
This is vile.
Oh, vile?
Yes.
Oh, but there they were. In a pale blue envelope. On that little mahogany table in the back of Mandira Devi's office. You know Mandira Devi? Oh, one of those ladies who attract poor little girls from good families. And she takes them under a wing. Under the pretext of being a friend. Or an advisor.
He thinks he has bought the right to tyrannize over us all with those 20,000 rupees he was going to pay. But which, fortunately, note this, gentlemen, he had no chance of paying.
Oh, but it was a near thing, though. You know.
Shame. My daughter.
Shame indeed. Oh, this? Oh, this is my revenge. Well, I'm dying to live that scene. I can see that room so clearly. Here's the window with the mantles exposed. A divan. A looking glass. A screen. Oh, and there, right there. In front of the window is that little mahogany table with that blue envelope. It was 20,000 rupees. Oh, I see it. I see it. I could take a hold of it. Oh, but you gentlemen, you ought to turn your backs now. I'm almost nude, you know. Oh, but I don't blush. I leave that to him.
I don't understand this at all.
Naturally, love. Let me explain before you believe all that she's trying to blame on me. Let me explain.
Yeah, sure. Explain it in your own way.
But don't you see that's where the trouble lies? Words. In words, each one of us has within him a whole world of things. Each man of us his own special world. And how can we ever come to an understanding? We think we understand each other, but we never really do. Look here. This woman takes all my pity for her as a specially ferocious form of cruelty.
But you drove me away.
Do you hear that? I drove her away. She really believes I sent her away.
You know how to talk, and I don't. But believe me, sir, after he had married me, and God alone knows why, because I was but a poor, insignificant woman.
For heavens, I married you for your humility. I love the simplicity in you. You see, she denies it. Her mental deafness, believe me, is phenomenal, the limit. Deaf, mentally deaf. Oh, she has a lot of feelings, oh yes, a good heart for her children, but the brain deaf to the point of desperation.
Why don't you ask him how his intelligence has helped us?
If we could see all the evil that may spring from good, what shall we do?
Excuse me, but are we going to rehearse today?
Of course. Just let's hear them out.
This is something quite new.
Most interesting. Yes. For the people who like that kind of thing.
Okay, you must explain yourself quite clearly, though.
Right, very well, listen. I had in my service a poor man, a clerk, a secretary of mine, full of devotion, and who became friends with her. They understood one another, were kindred souls, in fact. Without, however, the least suspicion of any evil existing, they were incapable of even thinking of it.
And so he thought of it. For them.
That's not true. I meant to do them good. And to myself, I confess, at the same time. Look, things had come to a point that I could not say a word to either of them without their making a mute appeal to one another with their eyes. And this, believe me, was just about enough to keep me in constant rage, to exasperate anyone beyond measure.
So why didn't you send him away, this secretary of yours?
Precisely what I did, sir. And then I had to watch this woman, poor woman, drifting forlornly about in my house, like an animal without a master, like an animal you take in out of pity.
Yes,
It's true about the son anyway, isn't it?
he took my son away from me, first of all.
But not from cruelty. I did it so that he could grow up healthy and strong by living with a more stable family.
Sure, as one can see.
Is it my fault he's grown up like this? She did not seem strong enough. Though she is of humble origin, that's why anyway the reason I married her. Unpleasant as this may all be, how can it be helped? My mistake, possibly, but here we are. You see, all my life I've had this confounded aspiration towards a certain moral sanity.
Oh, please. Stop it. Stop it. I can't stand
Yes,
this.
please stop it for heaven's sake.
Oh, but imagine the moral sanity from him, if you please. The client of certain setups like that of Mandira Devi's.
Fool! That's the proof that I'm a man. This seeming contradiction, gentlemen, is the strongest proof that I stand here a live man before you. It's just for this very incongruity in my nature that I've had to suffer as I have. I could not live by the side of that woman any longer, not so much for the boredom she inspired with me, but for the pity that I felt for her.
And so, he turned me out.
Well provided for. Yes, I sent her to that man, gentlemen, but to let her go free of me.
And to free himself.
Yes, I admit it. It was also liberation for me, but great evil has come of it. I meant well when I did it, and I did it more for her sake than mine, I swear it. Did I ever lose sight of you until the other man carried you off to another town, like the angry fool he was? An account of my pure interest in you, my pure interest, I repeat, that had no other base motive in it. I watched with the tenderest concern the new family that grew up around her. She can bear witness to that.
Oh, that's true enough. When I was a little kid, so high, you know, braids over my shoulders and an oversized uniform. I would see him waiting outside the school for me. He would wait for me to come out. Oh, for he came to see how I was growing up.
Shameful. Shameful.
Shameful? Oh, but why?
Look, when she went away, my house suddenly seemed empty. I was like a dazed fly alone in empty rooms. This boy here was educated away from home, and when he came back, he seemed to be no more mine. With no mother to stand between him and me, he grew up entirely for himself, on his own, apart with no tie of intellect or affection binding him to me. And then, strange but true, I was driven by curiosity at first, and then by some tender sentiment towards her family, which had come into being through my will. The thought of her began to gradually fill up the emptiness I felt around her. I wanted to know if she was happy in living out the simple daily duties of life. I wanted to think of her as fortunate and happy because she was far away from the complicated torments of my spirit, and so to have proof of this, I used to watch that child coming out of school.
Yes. He used to follow me. And I would look at him with interest, wondering who he might be. And then, of course, I told my mother, and she guessed at once. Oh, but then she didn't want to send me to school for a few days. And when I finally went back, there he was again, looking so ridiculous. He came close to me, caressed me, oh, and presented me with gifts and flowers.
A bit discussive, this, you know.
Literature. In the name of literature.
Literature
gentlemen.
indeed. This is life. This is passion.
It might be, but it won't act.
Oh, I don't suggest that we put this up. Oh, no. This is just the part leading up. You see, she no longer looks like the child she was. The drama is coming now, sir. Something new. And very complex and most interesting.
As soon as my father died,
There was absolute misery for them. They came back here unknown to me through her stupidity. But it's true she can barely write her own name, but she could have got her daughter to write to me that they were in need.
And how was I to divine all this sentiment in him.
That is exactly your mistake, to never have understood my sentiment.
After so many years apart, and all that happened.
Was it my fault that that guy took you away? It happened so suddenly, and for after he'd obtained some job or the other, I could find no trace of them, and so not unnaturally my interest in them dwindled. But the drama culminated unforeseen and violent on their return. But I was impelled by my miserable flesh. It still lives on. What misery. What wretchedness is that of man who is alone and disdains debasing liaisons? Not old enough to do without women and not young enough to get one without shame. Misery. It's worse than misery, it's horror. For no woman can any longer give him love, and when a man feels this one ought to do without, you say, but every man knows what unconfessable things pass within the secrecy of his own heart. One gives way to temptation only to rise from it again afterwards with a great eagerness to re-establish one's dignity, as if it were a tombstone to place on one's grave of shame, and a monument to hide and the sign, the memory of our weakness. Everybody's in the same case. Some folks haven't the courage to say certain things, that's all.
Yes, but all appear to have the courage to do them.
Yes, but in secret. Therefore you want more courage to say these things. This woman, for example. Look at her. She turns up tantalizing, inviting glances of you. You seize her. And no sooner she feels herself in your grasp that she closes her eyes. Oh, it's the sign of her mission. It's a sign which she says to man, blind yourself, for I am blind.
Sometimes she can close them no more. When she no longer feels of hiding her shame to herself. But dried-eyed and dispassionately sees only that of the man who has blinded himself without love. Oh God, all these intellectual complications make me sick. Disgust me, all this philosophy that seeks to uncover the beast in man and that seeks to save him. Excuse me, I can't stand it, sir. When a man seeks to simplify life, bestially throwing aside every relic of humanity, every chaste aspiration, every pure feeling, all sense of ideality or duty, modesty or shame, then nothing is more revolting and nauseating than a certain kind of remorse. Crocodile's tears, that's what this is.
Lord, let's come to the point. This is all discussion.
Very good, sir. But you see, fact is like a sack that won't stand up when it's empty. In order that it may stand up, one has to put into the reason and sentiment which have caused it to exist. I couldn't possibly know that after the death of that man, they had decided to return home, that they were in misery, or that she had taken a job in Mandira Devi's office.
You must know though, gentlemen, she's quite a high-class publicist advising...
We know exactly the kind of advice she gave you, alright?
Shut up, will you?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone asked for your advice.
You will believe me, gentlemen, that it never entered my mind that the old hag offered me a job because she had her eye on my daughter all the time.
And one day you met there.
Him, sir, him. An old client. Oh, now there's a scene for you to play.
The mother arrived just then.
Almost. In time.
No, in time. In time. And fortunately, I recognized her in time. And I took them back to my home. Now you can imagine her position and mine. She, as you see her, and I who cannot look her in the face.
It's just absurd. How can I possibly be expected, well, after that? Or to be a modest little girl? A fit person to go out with his confounded aspirations for a solid moral sanity.
For the drama lies in this. In the conscience that I have. That each one of us has. Diverse conscience. One for this person and the other for that. You see, we think we are one person, but we're really not. We are multi-faced, multi-conscious. So we have this illusion of being one person, or having one personality that is unique in all our act, but it's not true. Can you not understand? She surprised me in a place where she ought to have not known me. Just as I could not exist for her, and now she seeks to attach me a reality. I feel this above all else, and the drama you will see acquires a tremendous value from this point. And also then there's the position of the others, hers, his.
And don't want to have, because you know well enough. I wasn't made to be mixed up in all of this with the rest of you clowns.
Oh, of course, because, we are only vulgar folk. He is the fine gentleman. You may have noticed, Mr. Director, that I can fix him now and again with a look of scorn while he lowers his eyes. Oh, for he knows. He knows the evil he has done to me.
I? Are you talking about me?
Oh, yes, you. I am talking about you. I owe my life on the streets to you. Did you or did you not deny us with your behavior? Now, I won't say the intimacy of home, but even that mere hospitality which makes guests feel at their ease. Oh, we were intruders who had come to disturb the kingdom of your legitimacy. Again, I would like to have you witness certain scenes between him and I. It was just his behavior which made me insist on that reason for which we had come into his house. This reason he calls vile. Into his house with my mother, who is his mother too. Oh, but I came as the mistress of the house.
It's easy for them to always put me in the wrong. But imagine, gentlemen, the position of a son, whose fate it is to see arrive one day in his home a young woman of impudent bearing. A young woman who inquires for his father, with who knows what business she has. This young man has then to witness her return bolder than ever, accompanied by another child. He is obliged to watch her treat his father in an equivocal and confidential manner. She asks money of him in a way that lets one suppose he must give it to her. Must. Do you understand? Because he has every bloody obligation to do so.
But I do, as a matter of fact, have the obligation towards your mother.
How should I know? When had I ever seen or heard of her? One day there she arrives, I'm told, this is your mother too, you know. I figured from her manner why it is they have come home. I'd rather not say what I feel and think about this. I shouldn't even care to confess to myself. Therefore, no action can be hoped from me. Believe me, Mr. Director, I am an unrealized character, dramatically speaking, and I don't find myself at all at ease in their company. Leave me out of it, I beg you.
Is it because you are
How do you know what I am like? When did you ever bother your head about me, huh?
I admit it. I admit it, but isn't that a situation in itself? This aloofness of yours, which is so cruel to me and to your mother, who returns home and sees you almost for the first time grown up, who doesn't recognize you but knows you're her son. You brought her to tears.
God, she's crying again like a fool.
She can't stand him, you know. He says he doesn't come into the fair, whereas he's really the hinge of the whole action. The drama consists finally in this. When that mother re-enters my house, her family born outside of it, and shall we say, superimposed on the original, ends with the death of the little girl and the flight of the older one. That cannot go on because it's in foreign surroundings. So after much torment, we three remain. I, the mother, and the son. Then owing to the disappearance of that extraneous family, we too find ourselves strange to one another. We find we're living in an atmosphere of mortal desolation, which is the revenge, as he scornfully said, of the demon of experiment, which unfortunately hides in me. Thus, sir, you see that when faith is lacking, it becomes impossible to create certain states of happiness. We lack the necessary humility. For each one of us has his own reality to be respected before God, even when it is harmful to one's very self.
You know what, there's something in what you say. I assure you all of this interests me very much. I begin to think that there's stuff for drama in all of this, and not a bad drama either.
Oh yes, and absolutely new.
You've got a nerve though, I must admit, you know, coming here like this and flinging at me.
You will understand, sir. Born as we are for the stage.
Oh, are you amateur actors then?
No, I say born for the stage because...
Oh, come on, you're an old hand, you know.
No, sir, no. We act the role for which we've been cast. The role which we are given in life. And in my own case, passion itself, as usually happens, becomes a trifle theatrical when it's exalted.
Well, that will do, you know. But, you see, without an author, I could give you the address of an author.
No, look here, you must be the author.
Why? What are you talking about?
Yes, you, why not?
Because I've never been an author, that's why?
And then why not turn author now? Everybody does it. You don't want any special qualities. Your task is made so much easier by the fact that we are alive before you.
It won't do.
What? When you see us live our drama.
Okay, that's all right, but you want someone to write it.
No, someone to take it down possibly while we play it. Scene by scene. It will be enough to sketch it out at first and then try it over.
Well, you know what, I'm almost tempted. You know, it's a bit of an idea. One might have a shot at it.
Of course, and you'll see what will come out of it. I can give you a scene right now.
Oh, it tempts me. I'd like to have a go at it. You know, let's try it out. Come with me to my office, come. Okay, you're at liberty for a bit, all right? But don't step out of the theatre. In quarter of an hour, or 20 minutes, all back here again, all right? Come. Let's see what we can do about it. You know, who knows if something really extraordinary comes our way.
There's no doubt about it, but hadn't they better...
Oh, yes, come on. All right. Don't be late.
Is he serious?
Oh, this is complete
What the devil does he
madness.
want to do?
This is complete madness.
Does he expect to knock up a drama in 5 minutes? Like the improvisers? He thinks I'm going to take part in a joke like this.
I'm out of it anyways.
I think I would like to know who they are.
What do you suppose? Madmen? Oh, I bet they're just conning us. And he takes them seriously.
Vanity! He fancies himself as an octonaut.
It's absolutely unheard of. And if the stage has come to this, well, I am...
It's rather a joke.
Well, are we just supposed to just sit and wait and see what's going to happen next?
Come on, dear. Come here for a minute. We've arranged everything. Come.
If you please, young lady, you know, there are still 1 or 2 points to settle. Will you just come along with me?
Oh, but what's the good? We've already done everything.
Oh, this is fine. Fine. And to think I can't even get away.
And isn't my punishment the worst of all? My God, why are you so cruel? Isn't it enough for one person to support all this torment? Must you then insist on others seeing it also?
And they want to put it on stage. If there was at least a bloody reason for it. He thinks he's got at the meaning of it all, as if each one of us, in every circumstance of our lives, couldn't find his own explanation of it. He complains that he was ought to be discovered in a place where he not to be seen. Where he ought to be remain hidden and kept out of reach of that convention which he has to maintain for other people. And what about my case? Haven't I had to reveal what no son ought ever to reveal? How father and mother live and are man and wife for themselves, quite apart from that idea of father and mother which we give them. When this idea is revealed, our life is then linked, at one point, only to that man and that woman. And it should shame us, shouldn't it?
Okay, come on, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, come here. You.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is the outline of the scenes, act by act, okay? And now, I'm going to ask you to do something out of the ordinary.
Take it down in shorthand, I suppose?
Exactly. Can you do shorthand?
Yes, a little.
Good. Now follow these scenes as we play them, okay? And try to get down the points. At best, the most important ones, all right? Okay, clear the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Come over here.
But excuse me, aren't we?
Okay, you don't worry. You don't have to improvise, all right?
And what are we to do then?
Nothing for the moment. Okay, you just watch and listen. Everybody will get his parts written out afterwards, all right? At present, we're just going to try this thing as best as we can. They're going to act now.
What do you mean, like a rehearsal?
Yes, a rehearsal for them, my actors.
But since we are the characters...
Yes, all right, characters then, if you insist on calling yourself such. But here, my dear sir, characters don't act. Here the actors do the acting. The characters are in the script.
I won't contradict you, but excuse me, the actors aren't characters. They want to be, they pretend to be, don't they? Now, if these gentlemen have the fortune of having us alive before them...
Oh, this is grand. You want to come yourself before the public then?
As we are.
I can assure you it will be a magnificent spectacle.
What's the use of us here?
You're not going to pretend that you can act, you know, it makes me laugh. There you see, they're laughing at the notion. Oh, by the way, I must cast the parts. That won't be difficult. Okay, you play the mother, you the son, and you naturally are the stepdaughter.
What? That woman there.
What's there to laugh at?
Nobody's ever dared to laugh at me. I insist on being treated with respect, otherwise I go away.
No, excuse me. I'm not laughing at you.
You know what you feel? You ought to feel honored by being played by.
That woman there?
Oh, but I wasn't speaking of you, you know. I was speaking of myself, whom I don't see at all in you. That's it. I don't know. You aren't in the least bit like me.
True, here's the point. Look, sir, our temperaments are so...
Temperament, soul, be hanged, okay? Do you suppose the spirit of the beast is in you? Nothing like it.
What do you mean? Don't we have our own temperaments, our own souls?
Not at all, okay? Your soul, or whatever you call it, takes shape here. The actors give body and form to it, voice and gesture. And my actors, I might tell you, okay, have given expression to much more lofty material than this little drama of yours, which I don't know whether will stand up on stage or not. But if it were, the merit of it, believe me, will be due to my actors here.
I don't dare contradict you, sir, but believe me, it's a terrible suffering for us who are as we are. With these bodies of ours, these features to see.
Good heavens, the makeup will fix all of that. The makeup.
Maybe, but the voice, the gestures.
Now look here, okay? On the stage, you as yourself cannot exist. The actor here acts you. And that's an end to it.
I understand. And now I think I see why our author who conceived us, as we are alive, didn't want to put us on stage after all. I haven't the least desire to offend your actors, far from it. But when I think I'm to be acted by God knows whom...
By me, if you have no objection.
I'm honored, sir. Believe me. I must say that try as this gentleman may with all his goodwill and wonderful art to absorb me in himself.
What, Chuckhead? Wonderful art? Take that back.
The performance he will give, even doing his best with makeup to look like me.
Judging by what I can see, that will certainly be a bit difficult.
Exactly. It will be difficult to act as me as I really am. The effect will be rather apart from the makeup according to as how he supposes I am, as he senses me. If he does sense me at all. And not as I inside of myself feel myself to be. It seems to me then that account should be taken by this of everyone whose duty it may become to criticize.
Heavens, the man is starting to think of the critics now. Okay. Let them say what they like, okay? It's up to us to put up the play if we can. Come on, is the stage set yet?
You know, just to point this out, I mean, I just don't recognize the scene. It's nothing like that in Mandra Devi's, and you...
My dear lady, you know, you can't possibly suppose that we can construct that office. We've got the furniture, right, more or less. Okay, you go find an envelope, okay? If possible, a pale blue one, and give it to this gentleman here.
Me? Now what does he want?
Yes, you. An ordinary envelope.
You want an ordinary envelope?
Yes, an ordinary envelope. Okay, ready everyone? Listen, first scene, the young lady. No, you just wait out here. I meant her. You know, you just watch.
How I shall play it. Oh, how I shall live it.
I shall live it also. You may be sure, as soon as I begin.
Okay, ladies, if you please. No more useless discussions. We'll start when the two of you meet in Mandra Devi's office, all right?
Okay, so you make your entry. No, you needn't go over there. Come over here. Okay, let's just suppose you've already come in. Okay, like that, I guess. So now I'm here, with my head bowed. Come on, out with your voice. Let's hear you say good morning, miss, in that special tone of yours. That peculiar tone in that...
Excuse me, are you the director or am I? Get on with it, man, okay? Just go down the back of the stage. Actually, just need go off. Come right forward here, all right? Okay, get ready to write this down.
Good afternoon, miss.
Good afternoon.
So, this is not the first time for you here. You've been here before, is it? Then, why so shy? And why are you dressed so? A girl like you should... Let me take you
Oh
out.
my God.
Shopping. A body like yours should be draped in finer things. Don't worry. Mandira won't worry.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'm actually in.
Come now. Don't talk like that. You must accept or I shall be upset.
I really cannot, sir.
Oh, you're thinking about what they'll say at home if they see you lose. Don't worry. One can take care of these minor matters.
No, it's not that, sir. I couldn't wear it because, as you can see, I'm in mourning.
I'm mourning. Of course. I beg your pardon. I'm frightfully sorry.
No, stop. Stop. It's I who must thank you. There's no need for you to feel mortified or especially sorry. Don't think any more of what I have said. I must forget that I am dressed so.
Stop a minute, okay? Don't write that down. Just cut out the last line. Fine. It goes fine. Absolutely fine. Now we must go on as we arranged, all right?
Yeah, yes.
No, the best part's coming now. We have to go on.
Have a little patience, okay? But of course, it must be treated rather lightly.
Still, with a bit of a spunk in it.
Of course, it's easy enough. Shall you and I try now?
Well, yes, I'll prepare my entrance.
Good. Listen, you stay here with your head bowed down just a little bit. all
But
right?
she isn't dressed in white.
But I shall be, and much more effectively than you.
Okay, be quiet, please, and watch. You'll be able to learn something. Come on, entrance.
Good afternoon, miss.
No. Silence, okay? And you just please stop laughing like that. If we go on like this, we shall never finish.
Forgive me, sir, but it's natural enough. I mean, this lady here, she stands still. But if she was supposed to be me, I can assure you that if I heard anyone say good afternoon, miss, in that manner and tone, I should burst out laughing and I just did.
Yes, the manner, the tone,
The manner, nonsense, rubbish, okay? Just stand aside and let me see the action.
If I've got to represent an old fellow who's coming into his house when he could walk the
Don't listen to them for heaven's sake, okay? Do it again, it goes fine.
Right. Good afternoon, miss.
Good afternoon.
But I say, this is not the first time that you've been here.
Is it? Good, okay, but not quite so heavily. Like this. This isn't the first time you've come here, okay? And you say, no, sir.
No, sir.
You've been here before.
No, stop. Let her nod yes first, okay? You've been here before. What's the matter?
Oh my God. Oh, nothing. Sorry, nothing.
Go on.
Right. You've been here before, huh? Well then, there's no need to be so shy, is there? Why are you dressed so?
I'm not going to stop here to be made a fool of by that woman there.
Neither am I. I'm through with it.
Okay, silence for once and all, I tell you.
Oh, forgive me.
You know you haven't any manners, that's what it is. You just go too far.
It's true, but excuse her.
What? Excuse what? It's absolutely disgusting.
But believe me, it's such a strange effect.
Strange? Why strange? What is so strange?
I admire your actors, this gentleman there, this lady, but they're certainly not us.
I should hope not. Evidently, they cannot be you with their actors.
Just so! Actors. They're trying to play our part exceedingly well, but believe me, it produces a different effect on us. They want to be us, but they aren't all the same.
What is it then anyway?
Something that's theirs, not ours.
But naturally, inevitably, I've told you so already.
I understand.
Okay, well then, let's have no more of it. All right? We'll have our rehearsals later on, afterwards in the ordinary manner. I could never stand rehearsing with the author present. He's never satisfied. Okay, come on. Let's go on with it and try and see if you can keep away from laughing, okay?
Oh, I shan't laugh anymore. There's a nice little bit coming up now.
Okay, well then, when she says, don't think any more of what I've said, I must forget, etc., etc., you come in sharp with, I understand, and then you ask
What?
her why she's in mourning.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not. You see here, When I told him that it was useless for me to be thinking about the clothes I was wearing, do you know how he answered me? "Ah, well," he said, "then let's take them off."
Great! Just what we want to make a riot in the theatre.
But it's the truth.
What does it matter? How does it matter? Look, acting is our business. Truth up to a certain point, but no further.
Well, then what do you want us to do then?
Okay, you'll see. You'll see. Just leave it to me.
No, sir. No. What you want to do is to piece together a little romantic and sentimental scene out of my disgust. Out of all the reasons, each more cruel and viler than the other, why I am what I am. He is to ask me why I am in mourning. And I am to answer with tears in my eyes that it is just 2 months since my father died. No, sir. No, he's got to say to me as he did then, "Well, let's take them off." And I, with my mourning heart, I went there behind that screen. And with these fingers tingling with shame,
For heaven's sake, what are you saying?
the truth.
Okay, it might be. I don't deny it. And I can understand all your horror. But you must surely see that you can't have this sort of thing on stage. It won't go.
Not possible? Okay, very well. I'm much obliged to you, but I'm off.
Okay, now be reasonable. Don't lose your temper, okay?
I'm not going to stop here. I just won't. Oh, I can see. You've got this all fixed up with him. He wants to get at his complicated cerebral drama. To have his famous remorses and torments acted. Oh, but I want to act my part as well.
Ah, just your part. But if you will pardon me, there are other parts as well. His and hers. You know what? On the stage, you can have a character becoming too prominent and overshadowing all the others. The thing is to pack them all into a neat little framework and then act what is actable. I'm aware of the fact that everyone has his interior life which he wants very much to put forward. But the difficulty lies in this fact, to set out just as so much as is necessary for the stage, taking the other characters into consideration, and at the same time, hint at the unrevealed interior life of each. I'm willing to admit, my dear young lady, that from your point of view, it would be a fine idea if each character could tell the public all his troubles in a nice little monologue or a regular one-hour lecture. But you know what? You must restrain yourself, my dear, and in your own interests too. Because this fury of yours, this exaggerated disgust you show, may make a bad impression, you know. After all, you've confessed to me that there were others before him at Mandara Devi's office, and more than once.
Oh, it's true. True enough. But do remember, those others, well, they meant him. For me, all the same.
What? The others? What do you mean?
For one who has gone wrong, sir. He who was responsible for the first part is going to be responsible for all that is to follow. He is responsible for my faults. Was, even before I was born. Look at him. Look at him and see if it isn't true.
And does the weight of so much responsibility seem nothing to you? Give him a chance to act it, to get it over.
How? How can he act all his noble remorses and his moral torments if you spare him the horror of being discovered one day? After he had asked her what he did ask her, in the arms of her, an already fallen woman, that child, sir, that child he used to watch come out of school every day. Look, at present we are unknown to the public. Tomorrow you will act as you wish, treating us in your own manner. But do you really want to see drama, sir? Do you want to see it flash out?
Of course.
As it really did?
That's just what I want to do, so I can use just so much as it's possible.
Very well. Ask that mother there to leave us.
No. No. Don't permit it, sir.
But it's only to try it out.
I can't bear it. I can't.
But since it's already happened, I don't understand.
It's taking place now. It happens all the time. My torment isn't a pretend one. I live and feel every minute of my torture. She has run away. She has left me and is lost. If I now see her here before me, it is only to renew for me the tortures I have suffered for her too.
Eternal moment. She's here to catch me and fix me and hold me eternally responsible for that one fleeting mistake of my life. A shameful moment, but she can't give it up. And sir, you cannot fairly spare me it either.
Look, I never said I didn't want to act it. It will form, as a matter of fact, the nucleus of the whole first act, right up to a surprise.
Yeah, just so. This is my punishment. The passion in all of us that must culminate in her final cry.
Oh, I can still hear it. It's driving me mad, that cry. Or you can put me on as you like. It doesn't matter. Fully clothed, if you like. Provided I have at least my arms bare. I was standing like this, with my head so, and my arms around his neck. I saw this vein pulsating right there in my arm. And then, as if that live vein had awakened this disgust in me. I closed my eyes and I let my head sink onto his dress. Cry out, mother. Cry out. Cry out as you did then.
No. My daughter. You brute. She's my daughter. Don't you see? She's my daughter.
Fine! Fine, damn good, Awesome. And then, curtains, okay? Curtains here.
Yeah, of course. Is that going to really happen?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Curtains! Blackout! Leave it to me. Just leave it to me as we arrange, and you'll see it'll go fine.
Oh yes. Our entry into his house. In spite of him.
Leave it to me, I'll tell you.
But do let it be clear, at any rate, that it's in spite of my wishes.
And for all the good that's come of it.
But it doesn't matter. The more harm done to us, the more remorse for him.
Okay, I understand. Good heavens, I understand. I'm taking it into account.
I beg you, sir, to let it appear quite plain that for conscience sake, I did try everything.
To pacify me, to dissuade me from spiting him. Do what she wants, or satisfy her, because it's true. I do enjoy it immensely. And anyhow, you can see the meeker she is, the more she tries to tug at his little heart, the more distant and aloof he becomes.
Are we going to begin the second act or not?
Fine, I won't talk anymore. Oh, but I will tell you this. The whole action can't take place in the garden, as you said. It just isn't possible.
Why not?
Oh, because he's always shut up alone in his room.
Okay, maybe. On the other hand, you will understand that we can't change scenes 3 or 4 times in one act.
They used to once.
Yes, when the public were up to the level of these people here.
And it makes the illusion easier.
Illusion? For heaven's sake, don't say illusion. Please don't use that word. It's particularly painful to us.
And why, if you please?
It's painful, cruel, really cruel. You ought to understand
But
that.
why? What ought we to say then? The illusion, I tell you, sir, which we've got to create for the audience.
With our acting.
The illusion of a reality.
I understand, but you perhaps do not understand us. Forgive me, you see, for your actors here, this thing, and rightly so, is only a kind of a game.
A game? We are not children here, if you please. We are serious actors.
I don't deny it. What I mean is the game or play of your art, which has to give, as the gentleman says, a perfect illusion of reality.
Perfectly.
Now, if you consider the fact that we, as we are, have no other reality outside this illusion,
What does that mean?
As I say, sir, that which is a game of art for you is our sole reality. But not only for us, by the way. Just you think it over well. Can you tell me who you are?
What? Who am I? I myself.
Yeah, and if I were to tell you that isn't true because you and I
would say you are mad.
Oh, you're quite right to laugh. Because we're all making believe here, isn't it? And you can therefore object. It's only a joke for you. And that gentleman there, who naturally is himself, has to be me or tries to be me. Who, on the contrary, am myself. Ah, you see? I've got you in the trap.
We've had all of this over before, okay? Do you want to begin again?
No, that wasn't my meaning. In fact, I should like to request you to abandon this game of art, which you are accustomed to play here with your actors, and ask you seriously once again, who are you?
If this fellow here doesn't have a nerve, a man who calls himself a character comes here and asks me who I am.
A character, sir, may always ask a man who is. Because a character has a life of his own, marked with his special characteristics, for which reason he is always somebody. But a man, I'm not speaking of you now, may very well be a nobody.
Yes, but you're asking these questions of me, the boss, the director. Do you understand? And where does this take us all anyway?
Nowhere. It's only to show you that we have no other reality beyond this illusion. You too must not count over much on your reality as you feel today. Like that of yesterday, it may prove an illusion tomorrow.
Ah, excellent. Then you'll be saying next that you, with this comedy of yours that you brought here to act, are truer and more real than I am.
Of course, without a doubt.
Oh, really?
I thought you'd understand that from the beginning.
More real than I am.
If your reality can change from one day to another.
But everyone knows it can change. It's always changing, the same as anyone else.
Not ours. Ours does not change. Our reality stays the same day after day after day. Ours is an immutable reality which should make you shudder when you approach us. If you are really conscious of the fact that your reality is a mere transitory and fleeting illusion, taking this form today and that tomorrow, according to your conditions, according to your will, your sentiments, which in turn are controlled by an intellect that shows them to you in one way and tomorrow in another. Who knows how? Illusions of reality represented this faustus comedy of life that never ends. Nor can it ever end, because if tomorrow it were to end, then all would be finished.
Oh, for God's sake. Will you at least finish with this philosophizing and let us try and shape this comedy which you yourself have brought me here? You know what? You argue and philosophize a bit too much, my dear sir. You know, you seem to be almost, oh, by the way, I think you introduced yourself to me as, what shall I say, a character. A character created by an author who did not afterwards care to make a drama of his own creations.
It's the simple truth, sir.
Nonsense! Just cut that out, please. None of us believes it because it isn't a thing, as you must recognize yourself, which any one of us believes seriously. If you want to know, it seems to me as if you're trying to imitate the manner of a certain author whom I heartily detest. I warn you.
I don't know which author you may be alluding to. But believe me, I feel what I think, and I seem to be philosophizing only for those who do not think what they feel. Because they blind themselves with their own sentiment. Well, I know for many people this self-blinding seems much more human. The contrary is really true. Man never reasons as so much and becomes so introspective as when he suffers, since he is anxious to get to the cause of his suffering, to learn who has produced them, and whether it is just or unjust that he should have to bear them. On the other hand, when he is happy, he takes happiness as it comes, but never analyzes it, like it's his right.
Look, you're off again, philosophizing worse than ever.
Because I suffer. I'm crying aloud the reason of my sufferings.
You know what? I should like to know if anyone has ever heard of a character who gets right out of his part and perorates and speechifies as you do. Have you ever heard of a case? I haven't.
You have never heard of such a case, sir, because authors, as a rule, hide behind their characters. When the characters are really alive before the author, the latter does nothing but follow them in their action. in their words, in the situations which they suggest to him. And he has to will as they want him to will them. No better, for if he doesn't, then there's trouble. When a character is born, he acquires at once such an independence, even of his own author, that he can be imagined by everybody. Every man in so many other situations which the author never even dreamed of placing himself. He acquires himself a meaning which the author never thought of giving him.
Yes, I know this.
But what is there to marvel at us then? Imagine such a misfortune of characters as I have described to you. To be born of an author's fantasy and be denied life by him. And then answer me if these characters left alive and yet without a life weren't right in doing what they did or are doing now. They have attempted everything in their power to persuade him to give them their stage life. We've all tried it. Him, her.
It's true. I too have sought to tempt him many, many times. When he's been sitting alone at his writing table, feeling a bit melancholy at the twilight hour. He would sit in his armchair, too lazy to switch on the light. And all the shadows that crept around him were full of our presence coming to tempt him. What scenes we proposed to him.
Perhaps it was your fault then.
Nonsense.
You were just too insistent, too troublesome.
Oh, but didn't he make me so himself? In my opinion, he abandoned us in a fit of depression, of disgust for the ordinary theatre as the people know it and like it.
Exactly what it was, sir. Exactly.
No, not at all. Don't believe it for a minute. Listen to me. You're quite right in doing as you want to modify, go for it. But just try and cut down the excess of both of this girl here and that boy. This girl who wants to do way too much and this boy who doesn't want to do anything.
No, nothing.
You two get over the mark occasionally, my dear sir, if I may say so.
Me? Really? When?
Always, continuously. Then there's this insistence of yours in trying to make us believe that you are a character. And then too, you must really argue and philosophize less, much less.
Well, if you want to take away from me the possibility of representing the torment of my spirit, which never gives me peace, you'll be suppressing me, that's all. I cannot give this up just to represent a mere fact as she wants it. It's all very well for her, since her vendetta lies in the fact. I'm not going to do it.
You know what? We're going fine. First she starts off, then you jump in. At this rate, we'll never finish.
Look, don't be offended. Have it your way. Provided, however, that within the limits of the part you assign us each, one sacrifice is not too great.
Okay, you've got to understand that you can't go on arguing at your own pleasure. Drama is action, sir. Action, not confounded philosophy.
All right. I'll do as much arguing and philosophizing as everybody does when he's considering his own torment.
If the drama permits. But for heaven's sake, man, let's get along and come to the scene.
It seems to me you got too much action without coming to his house. Well, you said before, you can't change the scene every 5 minutes.
Of course not. What we've got to do is combine and group up all the facts in one simultaneous, close-knit action. We can't have it as you want, with you wandering like a ghost from room to room, hiding behind doors, and your sister to be playing in the garden. One in the house and the other in the garden, isn't that it?
Yes. In the sun. In the sun. That's my only wish. To see her happy and careless in the sun. After the misery and the squalor of that room where the four of us slept together. And I had to sleep with her. Me, do you understand? I had to sleep with her. With my body, contaminated body next to hers. The holding me fast. Those loving little arms of hers. In the garden, whenever she spied on me, she would run and take me by the hand. She loved to show the flowers to me and pet me and...
Okay, well then, we'll have it in the garden, okay? Everything shall happen in the garden. We'll group the other scenes there, okay? No, where are you going? Wait a minute.
I've got nothing to do with this affair. affair. Let me go, please, let me go.
What do you mean by you got nothing to do with this?
He has to play the terrible scene in the garden with his mother.
I shall act nothing at all. I've said so from the very beginning. Let me go.
You needn't bother with him. He won't go away. He has to stay. Well then, go. Go if you want to. You see? He can't. He can't go away. Oh, he is obliged to stay here. Indissolubly bound to the jail. If I fly off, well, what happens, which is to happen, because I can't bear him. If I'm still here, and I support that face and that expression of his, you can well imagine that he is going to be unable to move. He has to remain here. He has to stop here. With that nice father of his. And that mother, whose only son he is. Come along, mother. Come along. You see, she will get up to keep him back. Come on. Come on. You can imagine how little she wants to show these actors of yours how she really feels. But so eager she is to get near him. That, you see? She's willing.
No. If I can't go away, then I'll stop here. But I repeat, I shall act nothing, all right?
You can force him.
Nobody can force me.
I can.
Oh, one sec. Oh, wait. We need a little girl. We need a little girl to come here.
Yes, of course. That's it. Both at the same time.
What do you mean by both at the same time? It isn't right. There was no scene between me and her. Ask her how it was. Ask her.
Yes, it's true. I had come into his room.
Into my room. Do you understand? Nothing to do with the garden.
It doesn't matter. Haven't I told you we've got to group the action?
What do you want?
Nothing, I was just looking.
She's at it too. To react her part.
Exactly, and it seems to me that you ought to be grateful to them for their interest.
Yes, but haven't you yet perceived that it isn't possible to live in front of a mirror, which not only freezes us with the image of ourselves, but throws our likeness back at us with a horrible grimace?
That's true, absolutely true. You must see that.
Okay, he's right, just move away.
Do as you like, I'm out of this.
Okay, you know what? Just be quiet and let me hear your mother, all right? Okay. You were saying that you had entered the room.
Yes, into his room. But I couldn't stand it any longer. I went to empty my heart to him of all the anguish that tortures me. But as soon as he saw me...
Nothing happened! There was no scene. I went away, that's all. I don't care for scenes. Haven't you figured that out by now?
It's true. True.
You know what?
That's how it was.
We've got to do this bit between you and him. It's indispensable.
I'm ready. When you are ready. If you could only find a chance for me to tell him what I feel here in my heart.
You do this for your mother, you understand? For your mother.
I do nothing.
For God's sakes, do as I tell you. Don't you hear your mother crying? Haven't you got the guts to be a son?
No! No! For God's sake, stop it, alright?
Please. Please.
What does it mean, this madness you've got? Have you no decency? That you insist on showing everyone our shame? I won't do it, I won't, and I stand for the will of our author in this. He didn't want to put it on stage after all, did he?
What the hell? You came here!
He did, I didn't!
Now you're here, aren't you?
It was his wish, and he dragged us all along with him. He's told you not only things that did happen, but things that have happened that never happened at all.
Okay, well, tell me then what did happen. You went out of the room without saying a word.
Without a word, so as to avoid a scene.
And then what did you do?
Nothing. Walking in the garden and then the fountain.
Well, walking in the garden
Why on earth do you insist? It's horrible.
The girl! Her sister! Yes, that's why she's not here!
There in the fountain.
She was following her.
And then you...
I ran over to her. I was jumping in to drag her out, but I saw something that froze my blood. This little girl in the fountain. Then... Bang! The
My
revolver shot
daughter!
rings out.
My daughter!
Is she...
Help! Somebody help!
Is she wounded?
She's dead.
No, no. It has to be make-believe. It's only pretense.
Is it pretense? Or is it reality?